Shalom, Yahshala, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Yasharallah. Call Haloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Harakah Kodash for blessing our elders with the spirit of truth so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Akwaf that's keeping the faith in the works. Y'all keep at it. This your brother Abaya coming at you with more precepts. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 9, and verse 4 says, And Yahweh said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry, for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. All right. Now, this mark is a mark of exemption. It's not the same mark as spoken of in Revelation chapter 13. And the reason why these individuals are receiving this mark, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Ratazah, I'm in that number, all right, it's because they are sighing and crying for the abominations that be done in the midst thereof, in the midst of this city, in the midst of the daughter of Babylon, in the midst of this earth, because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and we can clearly see it, especially because the Most High has blessed our spirits to wake up, right, to be able to see the atrocities done in this world, right? And the Most High says, set a mark of exemption upon the foreheads of those men, right? But that entails, we know that this is not our place. We understand that this is not our home, and we understand that our home on this earth, as it pertains to this world, has been eradicated. Other people are occupying our land. Other people are occupying our name. Other people are occupying who we are, right? Culture-wise, right? So we understand that. That's why we're sighing and crying in the first place. But unfortunately, the majority of the Most High's people are not doing so. They believe that this is their land. They believe that this is their world, and they operate as such, right? And in actuality, it really is their world, because the Most High said the 2/3 of the Most High's people that don't do what they're supposed to be doing during this grace period, the Most High gonna see them as Babylonians. So they're gonna get treated as Babylonians. They're gonna receive her plagues, right? They're gonna receive everything that's going to Babylon. They're gonna get it too, right? So this is verse 5. Ezekiel 9 and 5 says, And to the others he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin in my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. Right? The Most High has begun, right? The Most High has begun showing this world who he really is. And it starts with the prophets. The Most High putting his spirit back on the prophets to be able to understand his word, to present it to the Most High's people and to the world, wherever we are, right? But like I said earlier, man, unfortunately, the majority of the Most High's people just won't get it. And seeing as though they just won't get it, the Most High has no issue, right? No issue, no problem at all unleashing these spirits to destroy, right? This is the book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 28. It says, There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. So you keep playing with the Father, you want to. More situations as such, we'll see. So I'm going to let this video play, and I'll be back. Funny how all these people, right? All these people who hear the Most High's word and walk right on by, right? All these people who hear the Most High's word and pay no attention, who dwell in pride and ignorance. It's funny how when situations like this pop up, the first thing come in their mind is, oh God. That's the first thing pop in their head when trauma come up. Oh God, please. Lord, please. First thing pop in their head. Then the Most High get them out that situation, let them slide. And they go right back to the nonsense. This is the norm for Israel and Babylon. This what we're witnessing right here is the norm in Babylon for Israel. Any function, right? Any gathering is likely to turn into mayhem and murder and death. That's the norm in this place. So it baffles me to hear the Most High's people that don't get this word say they want things to get back. They want things to get back to normal. Nigga, this is normal right here. Not only our oppressors terrorizing us, but our own people terrorizing us. All right? This is the book of 2nd Ezra. 2nd Ezra chapter 5 and verse 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and minstrous women shall bring forth monsters. Right? Shall bring forth monsters, man. Beasts with no morals at all. Bloodlustful beasts. Right? They have no idea how to fully or righteously express themselves. So the first and easiest way to do so is to operate in anger. But with anger comes chaos and destruction. With anger comes pistol play when somebody's feelings get hurt because they don't know how to speak. They don't know how to ignore. They got to make a point. Right? It has to be understood that I'll take your life. That's a monster, man. Right? But see, these monsters, they don't understand that they made a covenant. Matter of fact, if you're not operating in the spirit of truth and the spirit of holiness to the best of your ability, you in another covenant. All right? And go to the book of Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 15 says, because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. Right, so all these black people, right, all these black people that we're seeing on the screen, all the African Americans that we're seeing on the screen, and all these Hispanics that we keep hearing about, and all these Native Americans that we keep hearing about all around the world, you've made a covenant with death by calling yourself those names. Those names were given to you by your oppressor. And you cling on to that. And there's a whole culture that come with that. There's a whole spirit that go with that. You don't understand that spirit and that culture is a spirit and culture of death. And you're in agreement with it. You sign your name in blood with it. Not understanding you will have to pay that debt back. It's just like signing any contract. You sign any contract, you got to abide by that contract. All right? Read this again, Isaiah 28 and 15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. Right? They made a covenant with death and hell, and they live life like ain't nothing gonna happen to them. Do all kind of wickedness, foolishness, and folly, like it's all good. Like the Most High promised them 115 years on this earth, and in year 114, You got the option to change your life around before your time come up so that you can be in good standings with the Lord. It do not work that way, man. All right? Read this one more time. Isaiah 28:15, because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. Yeah. Right? So, the Most High's people, man, it's something so serious. Let me see. Let me go to the book of Isaiah. Or same book, rather. Same book, different chapter. Chapter 3 and verse 12. It says, as for my people, children are their oppressors. Children are their oppressors. Children are their oppressors. And women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths. Right? Women rule over us. All of this by design. It's all designed by the daughter of Babylon. It's all designed by Edom, man. Take the man out the lead role, put the woman in charge, throw the house out of order. The woman don't know how to raise a man. The woman don't know how to hold down the whole household by herself like it's supposed to be. Because 9 times out of 10, if that woman is holding down that household by herself, she's going to be extra aggressive to her son. And that's going to do something mentally to that boy. Either he going to grow up a punk, or he gonna grow up extra hard against women. And when I say extra hard, shit, somebody daughter out here might end up dead because they broke a heart. All right? Most High says, as for my people, children are their oppressors. Who do we see in this crowd, man? Let me go back. This the norm. The norm of Babylon is with each generation of youth, it gets worse and worse and worse. More vile, more dangerous, more insane. With each generation, man. Right? So, hey, the Most High, he says it in his word, man. You either on one side or the other. Right? But you have to understand, this is not it, man. This is not living. This is surviving. We barely getting by. I'm talking about in all shapes and forms. I'm not just talking about no finances, man. I'm talking about spiritually. I'm talking about mentally. I'm talking about physically. Bro, we in the trenches in this thing because we are prisoners of war. All around the world, not just here, but all around the world, man. We at war. We've been at war since we left our house, since we left our home. Since 70 AD, we've been at war. All right? But the majority of the Most High people can't see that. And that's why, more often than not, they get led to death in violent ways. In violent ways, man. Senseless ways. With nothing left behind. All right? A lot of these deaths, man, they ain't no children behind them. They it. The Most High cutting off whole names at this thing. Right? But like I said, is all of this is by design. And the designer is the same individual that's written in the scripture to hate us, right? From generation to generation with a perpetual hatred. You know what I mean? It never ended, man. It's the book of Ephesians. Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12, it says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Why else do you think they speak so negatively about Hebrew Israelites? Because they don't want you to stop. They want you to continue to be niggas. Because niggas equate death. It's so simple. Their formula is so simple. But if you're too occupied with this world, you will never see it, man. You too busy chasing the bag and chasing tail and chasing parties and chasing blunts and chasing highs, you'll never see it. Right? So I'm gonna end it with that, man. Yahweh Rajazah, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Rajazah, these precepts in this video were edifying. Call Halom Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakak Wadash, Shalom Yashalom.